Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Dose of Leadership. I have a question. I want you to think a little bit about any change that you've ever gone through. Let's keep it in the organizational setting for now. Have you ever worked in an organization where maybe your boss came in and said, okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a new computer system. We're going to change the way we're doing things. We're going to change our payroll system. We're going to change something. And I want you to think about how that change was communicated to you. And I want you to think about if it was communicated to you in the best way it could be. And what I mean by that is, how did it make you feel? Did it make you want to do the change? Or did it make you say, oh my God, we have to deal with a change here. I don't think I'm going to like this. Because for most of us, we tend to resist change. We tend to resist something that's different when it's first put upon us. That's kind of human nature because it's different, right? Even if we like something, it's still like, okay, it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to give us a little bit of turmoil to learn how to do something differently. So what I want to talk about today and what I want to really focus on is that when we introduce a change to someone else, whether it be our employees, our colleagues, our family, whatever it is, we need to make sure that we're communicating to those people how the change is not only good for the organization, but how it's good for them too. I always go into an organization, I always go into a setting and say, you know what? The people here really love what they're doing. The people here really love their organization because you know what? Human resources did the right job. They got the right people in there. So right off the bat, that's my assumption. But here's the thing. No matter how much you love your organization, no matter how much you love your boss, no matter how much you love what you're doing, you love yourself more. So if somebody's going to introduce something different and say we're going to have a new system in place, don't just tell me how it's going to help the organization. Don't just tell me how it's going to help us all to do a better job. Tell me how it's going to help me. How's it going to make my job easier? How's it going to make my work better? Because that's what I want to know about. Now here's the thing. Let's assume that you're the boss and you come into your team and you say, you know what? We're going to implement this new computer system. Starting today, new system right there. The people are going to get a little freaked out because they've been used to doing something a certain way. But if you go in there and you say, listen, we have a new computer system. We're going to start it. Maybe I was exaggerating. We're not going to start today. We're going to start it in a few weeks, in another month or so. And when we do, you have to understand it's going to be stressful. It's going to take some time to learn. But once you get there, once you learn it, once you understand it, it's going to help you. The reason I put it that way is because when we're talking to somebody, we don't want to lose their trust. I can't come in there and say to you, you know what, this new computer system is going to make your life so much easier. It's going to make your work go quicker. It's going to make you feel better about what you're doing. It's going to make the world so much better. Because you're going to say, okay, I'll give it a shot. But then after the first week of using it, you're going to say, you know what, he lied to me. This isn't making my life easier. This is making it harder. I got to go home and study for this stuff and figure out how to do it. Remember, we've talked about trust before in the doses of leadership. Trust is key. We don't want to lose the trust of our people. So how do we not lose the trust of our people? It goes back to another dose we talked about being optimistic but realistic. We want to be optimistic. This system is going to help us. It's going to help you specifically, but it's going to take a little while. You're probably going to hate me for the first couple of weeks because you're going to think that I'm giving you all this extra work, but I'm telling you, push through it. I will help you through it. And after you push through the learning curve, it's going to make your job easier. It's going to make your life easier. So the lessons for today, make sure that when we're talking to our people about a change, we don't just focus on how it's going to help the organization. We focus on how it's going to help them specifically. And number two, that optimistic and realistic point is an important one. Be optimistic about how the system's going to really help them. It's going to make their job easier, going to make their life easier, everything else. But also, just that one extra line. You're probably going to hate me for the first couple of weeks. It's going to take extra work for the first couple of weeks. But once you get it, you're going to like it. Be truthful, be honest, be trustworthy, and make sure you're expressing to your people how whatever you're implementing, it's going to help them as much as it helps you.